Anthony Mackie. The end of Avengers. Endgame. Sam never accepted the shield. Sam never said he was going to be Captain America. So, in the series, you learn who's going to be Captain America, who the shield is passed down to, and where we go from there. Could be misdirecting, but I feel there's also a strong chance it won't go to him. TBH, I think if they made a point of leaving Sam Wilson with the shield, setting up a black Captain America to be the image of the US and patriotism and all of that, to give it to Bucky or another white male would be a poor move and kind of cheating with that excitement generated by Cap's decision in Endgame. I never understood that he should have gave it to Bucky. Takes. He is a terrorist in the eyes of most people and is someone that can be turned at any moment by someone reading a few lines from a book. Since there is literally a Sam Cap toy, I'm betting Mackie is just being coy here. I don't know why he's lying. Wouldn't it be crazy if the post-credit scene for Fatwas is Sam getting the shield and killing Wanda because he is revealed to be Galactus? Yes. And Bucky is Mephisto. Wait a second. They're doing a thing where Sam doesn't become CA right away and Walker does initially instead. And instead of people cluing into them playing a long game with Sam's characterization, this show's gonna get its own version of the WandaVision sitcom episode Backlash, where people freak out that they don't play literally all the cards in the first 2 episodes. We already know he'll become the next Cap. He lied due to the fact it's considered something that spoils the series, but I mean it was obvious since it was announced, lol. Simply as that. I think the plot of the show could be that the US Gov prefers a white male Captain America, or at least has set up someone that looks like Chris Evans' Cap. So while Sam might be the successor that Steve wants/wanted, there'll be a clash about who actually gets to be Cap in the eyes of the Gov. So Mackie isn't being coy, he's just setting up the show. Sam doesn't want the shield because he's actually Mephisto. With IW, I felt that Marvel hadn't done enough to make me feel for Wanda and Visions. They did a TV show that is doing that work. With Endgame, I felt that Marvel hadn't done enough to make me understand why Sam was the best choice for the shield. Now they're making a TV show that's just gonna do that, and I think that's great. I believe that Mackie is saying those things to make people think that Walker is gonna be Captain America. But I have no doubt the series will end with Sam taking the role. So when Steve gave him the shield, he was being polite for the sake of a friend. But really in the moment he was thinking WTF. No, see. Steve gave him the shield knowing that Sam would never feel like he would be worthy of it. So Steve could time travel back to the end of Fatwas to defeat John Walker and reclaim the shield for himself. It's simple reverse psychology. Government won't allow Sam to be Captain America. It needs to go to a committee-appointed US agent. So Sam and Bucky have to go off radar to deal with the issue at hand. Okay, so what was the thank you? I'll do my best then? That sounds exactly like thank you. I will do my best to follow in your footsteps. I think there was even marketing spoilers about Falcon becoming Cap. Very likely he is misdirecting, as the story is about who ends up getting the shield, and giving a confirmation would ruin the story. I reckon the series will deal with Sam's imposter syndrome. How do you live up to a man like Steve Rogers? So glad we're getting this as long-form TV. Excellent opportunity to develop Sam and Bucky, who have unavoidably been sidelined in the films as sidekick characters. In Endgame you have Steve doing the emotional PTSD talks that Sam did. It's also Steve first hears when the portals open. I think it was clearly set up in those moments that Sam would be given the shield. I was disappointed when Bucky didn't get it, but upon rewatch and realizing the parallels between Steve and Sam, I think it made sense. He's not wrong. Sam didn't accept the shield. It was Mephisto disguised as Sam. Except for the fact that he did accept the mantle. I'll try my best. I think MCU fans aren't getting the underlying idea of this series. Mackie and specifically Fij read the internet and aren't naive, they understand what this series is about. He knows Sam as Falcon has had some development, but as a supporting character, not a main one. This series at its core is about proving to MCU fans, and the general audience, that Sam is worthy to become the new Captain America. And not for nothing, but for all the kids out there who lost their hero when Chadwick died. Imagine what's going to happen when they see Sam become Cap. The series will make that moment feel truly earned. Didn't his Cap suit leak LOL? Yeah. Ugh, my Reddit is glitching, so this is in 2 parts. My colleague who worked on this told me so. It is basically the Hail Hydra storyline of Captain America. The new captain turns out to be Hydra, and Bucky and Sam have to basically outmaneuver him. They do give it to another white guy, but it isn't played to be right or fair, which means people in world are also pissed, which is the main plot driver. That's basically he said, and confirmed that it follows the Hydra storyline a bit. Sorry, this is written weirdly. My app update is goofy. But that's all I know. I really hope we see Sam commit to the Cap mantle. He will start off as the Falcon and become Captain America. I doubt they would call the show Falcon and the Winter Soldier if he wasn't going to be the Falcon. There's a toy with him as Cap anyway. It will happen. It's a misdirect to show from what point Sam will eventually accept the role as Captain America. My theory? Elijah Bradley aka Patriot. Agreed. We see Tommy and Billy in WandaVision. Hawkeye's mini-series is gonna introduce Kate Bishop aka New Hawkeye. And we have Cassie Lang, Scott's daughter. Could be building up to the Young Avengers if at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, he gives it to a newly appeared Elijah. I don't get it. Hawkeye was under the spell of the Mind Stone and nobody freaks out. But Bucky was under the influence of Hydra and is still considered a terrorist. Hawkeye was mind-controlled for like 2 days. Bucky was a Hydra assassin for like 50 years. I really hope Sam is the one to get/keep the shield. Imagine Punisher shows up and is Cap like in the comics. He literally says he'll do his best. That's definitely not what you say if you're not accepting the mantle. Both Bucky and Sam have been Captain America in the comics. Except for the Axis detour. I like Sam as Cap, plus a winged Captain America was pretty cool. Maybe they should both be Cap. Because they feel that one person alone can't replace Steve. Am I the only one who believes that this series will end with them both being Captain America? We've got multiple Spider-Mans. Multiple Marvel women. Looks like multiple Quicksilvers. They've both been Cap in the comics. Putting my money down now. My hope is that there's a debate of who the next Cap is officially, but Sam always has the shield. At the end of the day, Steve gave it to him. Maybe by the end the government still don't label him as Cap, but the public do not accept who they give the and see Falcon as the new Cap. Even if Falcon doesn't want it. Really hope we see a full-length trailer Sunday night. I wanna see more Zima. So yeah, that all makes sense. But what I want to know is the series of events and thoughts from the point Steve gives him the shield. Meaning, Sam is given the shield and leaves the compound to go wherever it is he is going. He takes the shield with him. Now, regardless of him wanting or not wanting to be the new Captain America, he has the shield. What happens? The government comes to him and takes it back. How do they know he has it? Did he send them an email? LOL. So what is the story of the shield going from Sam to anyone else, and how? To just say that the government does not want him in that role is not enough. He is an Avenger. Criminal or not, he is an Avenger. I don't think they are just rolling up in tanks to the compound demanding the shield. Furthermore, as a sorta side note, Captain America 1 and 2 Steve and US Agent. The serum worked once. Just once. On Steve. Partly because of his character and how he was a good man at heart. At that point the serum seems to have been perfected. I think it's sorry of a plot hole that the serum exists and has worked multiple times and yet they still treat it like a thing that is special. Like something that cannot be duplicated. Yet you have the Winter Soldier. The rest of the soldiers that Zima killed in Civil War. US Agent. Etc. That being said, why not make more super soldiers? Especially at a time when the governments of the world US, Russia and China specifically are realizing how hilariously outgunned humans are, like Fury said in the first Avengers movie. So where are the rest? Just a thought. Turning heads away from the TV. Haha got M. I rewatched Endgame and I didn't get this vibe from Falcon at all. He says thank you after Cap says the shield isn't anyone else's and says I'll do my best. I think this just trying to drum up conversation. Cap ends the conversation, that's why it is yours, it's going to be Sam's. There's that leaked action figure with Sam in the Cap suit with the shield, and didn't Mackie say in 2019 that he had a costume test for the Cap suit? Maybe Mackie is referring to the fact that Sam isn't Cap right away and how the government gives the shield and Cap mantle to John Walker first. I have to look for the final scene and he is right. The dialogue was this. Steve, how does it feel? Sam. Like is someone else's. Steve. It isn't. Sam. Thank you. I'll do my best. Steve. That's why is yours. So that he never accepted the shield. What means for me is that Sam still feels like the shield is someone else's. Even if Steve said that's why is yours, he doesn't feel like he can. His best ain't enough for the mantle of Captain America. Except we already saw footage of him throwing the shield and training with it. Okay, but we've seen the merge. And it's Sam, so why play smoke and mirrors with that? I think Sam deserves the shield and it's safer for him to have it. Also, Bucky has personally things to deal with. I'm not saying Bucky is evil or a bad person, but the mantle of Captain America is something that is too much to carry. That is why I think Sam should have the mantle of Captain America. It's gonna be the glasses all over again. Other than the obvious misdirect. This is likely Anthony saying the story of this is about him accepting the Captain America mantle. Coming from r/all. How can one block an entire subreddit? Sorry man. It's going to be Sam. They are going to turn it into a big will he or won't he thing, even though it's obvious they will. Wasn't it spoiled already that he rejects it first but then take it up when Bucky apparently is killed? Everyone knows it will go to Captain Marvel. I think he's gonna end up with the shield but not take the name. I get it. The show is called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and not Captain America and the Winter Soldier. It seems like the overarching plot of the show will be Sam trying to fulfill that role in his own way. If the show's core is built around him finding the worthiness to pick up the mantle instead it just being handed to him, then it makes sense that they don't want to be entirely forthright with it. Okay, maybe just my own confusion here, but Bucky isn't under Hydra control anymore? Isn't that what Shuri did? I don't think they'd be letting him roam around Wakanda while there's still the possibility of him being brainwashed. Plus the line from Black Panther about "oh, another broken white boy for me to fix" gives the impression that she fixed Bucky. That being said, I agree Sam should have the shield for a multitude of reasons. Bucky is badass and I like him more than Sam. But his character is so cool because he is more dark and gritty and has a speed ton of baggage and complications. That's why I love the character anyways. Emo Sam is more fit to carry the Cap legacy. I think it would be counterproductive to have a Captain America that didn't have super soldier serum coursing through their veins. It better be Sam. I would disappointed if he doesn't get it. Didn't John Watts say in Far From Home he originally wanted Sam to show up as Captain America? Sam said, "I'll do my best." They did countless interviews talking about how excited he and Evans are the Anthony got the shield. Don't try to change it now to build hype for the show. Just say that is the journey. I hope he's misdirecting us. It feels right for Sam to be the new Captain America. American Hulk. I back this 1000%. If it doesn't end up being Sam, then I vote for the big green guy. MCU heads probably heard. Wait, what? Not to the skilled assassin with an indestructible arm? If someone besides Sam gets it, then sorry, but that's dumb. Like Cap himself gave him the shield, come on. Anthony Mackie shouldn't have the shield due to his horrid acting. He killed Altered Carbon, and the only good parts of the show were when he wasn't talking. Man. I would be so disappointed if Sam doesn't get to be Captain America. Please don't tell me at the end it's going to be Bucky and Sam looking into the camera and saying, "No. We are Captain America. XD." Enter Roberta Mendez. Just kidding, it's me. End of the series. Nice one. He literally put it on his arm and said, "I'll do my best," but okay. Still looking forward to this. Yo, Anthony Mackie is just precious. I grew up in the 90s. And Mackie reminds me a little bit of a more humble Will Smith without all the extracurriculars. Just an actor, and charming at that. I love seeing him in anything. I know he's the guy I call when Speep hits the fan in his movies. But I think my narc meter would go off if he weren't that way in reality. I just love this man, and I'm a straight white guy with a GF of 5 years. And I miss when Will Smith was making bomb-ass sci-fi movies. Is Sam Wilson going to be an analogy for Obama? While US agent is an analogy for Trump? And before I get downvoted for bring up politics, remember who we're talking about here. Captain America. And if you say Marvel doesn't do politics, rewatch Civil War. And read a Cap-related comic. We've seen in real life Republicans have no problem with Americans being traitors for Russia. I could totally see them giving the shield to Winter Soldier over Falcon. I hope they don't beep up. I mean, Sam literally said the shield looks like someone else's. Cap says it isn't. And he says thank you. How the hell this isn't except the shield?